hear
But
that. Well, saying kind things about yourself it makes it easier for you to say kind things about other people. So consider it in the future. But go ahead. What did
okay.
you want to add to the conversation?
Oh, I was just I was hate and fear as a platform. Why? I was like, I just I wanted to comment about the debate that happened the other day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we had, I mean, I think the problem is they don't put a score on these. They
Right.
don't learn. They need to learn how to score
So you
these
did
things.
watch the debate, right?
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
every time Trump was asked a question and he completely, you know what I'm saying, deflected from
Lied
answering the
his
question and
ass
started
off is
talking
what he
about the
did.
border, the border, the border, the border, as if, you know what I'm saying, like those are the people that we need to be fearful of in the United States when statistically they're the least likely person to commit a crime. Statistically, they're the least likely people to be trafficking any types of narcotics into the country. Statistically, they're not the people that we should be worried about. Is that
That's
not
correct.
fear mongering?
What about your
Oh,
job, Jones, right now? Like
Oh
you're
yeah, my
doing
black job.
yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know if he specified that it was only Mexican immigrants. I'm an immigrant too, you know. I've been eyeballing your job this entire time.
I'm gonna
It
go
went
around today, later on, me and Jovan, if he's down for it, and I'm gonna go to like the local establishments and find out what specific jobs are the black jobs at each establishment.
Oh,
well,
that's
I will
hilarious. Wait, let's
I
do
will
that. I
Well,
got
today,
wireless microphones. Let's get it.
Let's do it.
well,
no.
today, well, today when I start work here, because I start work at 11 here, I'm going to ask my manager if my job's a black job or a Latino job, and if she says it's a black job, I'm going to have to quit.
Well, I mean, it's just like about building trust. So all y'all's like Mexican or immigrant husbands and best friends, we're just here to prey on you when you least expect it, and then your job's gone. That's what we've been doing.
Sergio, go ahead. Let's hear what you had to say.
well, I just saying that it seems. I mean, a lot of people are talking about how Joe Biden, quote unquote, lost this debate, and he did not lose this debate because Donald Trump did not say one thing that was actually factually correct, or I mean, just it wasn't even just a mistake; it was an outright lie. You could have gotten drunk just by taking a swig of. Every time he talks about something in the history of America, you could have took a shot and been drunk before halfway through the thing. He's just a compulsive liar is all he is. Not one thing he said on there was true. Nothing.
Nobody
Even the
checks
border
it.
thing was
Nobody's checking him on
exaggerated.
his lies. So
Yeah,
you know what I'm
they
saying?
they
Like,
don't check
Can I
him.
make a comment about the
yes.
whole thing? I just want to say that the fact that there was no fact checking. So let me be 100%. Like we
Thank
do
you,
this all the
Eva.
time. Like Jones and all of us, we do debates all the time. This is like where we live, and we're a little more quick on our feet, quick with our minds, quick with our words. We deal with gish galloping all the time. So the problem I had with what happened that day was nobody was fact checking him in real time. So when it was Biden's turn, which he had anywhere from 60 to 120 seconds, depending on how the question was being asked and what Trump said leading up to it, he had to address 4 and 5 false narratives and try to address the point. And he has an 81-year-old brain. Like, I'm sorry, that is not, you do not
I
have
can't do
the
that, and I have a 40
reflex.
year old brain.
Well, right, same. I'm like that. Asking that type of reflex capacity for someone in their 80s and that time restraint with that level of disinformation is
I shouldn't
impossible. So
start
he
today.
he jumbled his words. He lost his train of thought. Like I would have done that because you're
Me
demanding
too.
multiple things to be addressed at once, many of which are false and many of which should have been addressed by CNN, not Biden.
Yeah.
Can I say something really quickly that I think is pretty interesting about this situation? A lot of the narrative has been on Biden, and the focus has been on Biden, and that's fair. But the really scary thing is the focus was not on Donald Trump, and I think the reason why is pretty scary. And I think Donald Trump has
I don't understand why you
accomplished.
keep muting and kicking me.
Because you're talking over people. That's why it's rude. That's not hard. Please
I feel it's
continue,
because you're a
CJ.
communist.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Go. Please continue, CJ. Please
Thank
don't
you.
be rude, Steve. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, you have better manners than that. I doubt it, but hopefully you do.
Yeah, I was just saying that the scary thing about this thing with Donald Trump is he's introduced a new culture to American politics. Had 20, 15 years ago, anybody running for office had got on the stage and did what Donald Trump did, the world would be appalled.
Oh,
This
absolutely.
no, now it's normal because we've seen Donald Trump do it for over 8 years now. It's normal. He's brought this behavior, he's brought this decorum to the United States' highest office, and that's something I don't think we should ever accept.
Well said.
I don't disagree.
All right,
Uh,
Joe, is you're next, right?
what's that?
I think Joe is opposition too, so let's introduce them.
Oh, Joe, how are you doing, friend? Have you had some water and said something kind about yourself?
What do you want me to say about myself? I
Some.
paid attention to the news today.
Okay.
What just happened to your buddy Jack's case in Florida?
Nothing really.
It just fell to the wayside because Trump's immunity
which is unacceptable.
Well, that's actually not true.
is.
Well, yeah,
Now,
that's
see,
actually not
you're
true.
talking over me. Have a good day. Your hypocrisy's showing.
Oh, okay, I
All
didn't
right,
talk over
well.
you. You weren't talking. Okay, sorry about that. Eugene, good morning. How are you? Have you had some water and said something kind about yourself?
Yes, I've had some water and I said some kind things about myself.
Glad to hear it.
I just want to bring a different perspective.
Sure.
I'm a black conservative, but I want to make it clear that the the Republican Party in its
One
current
real
form,
quick question. Real quick
yes,
question. Two questions actually. One, right? What are you conserving specifically? And two, when has being a conservative ever been a positive thing for marginalized communities? Can you answer those two questions before we move forward?
sure. As far as conservative, when I say conservative, I mean morally. I'm a more conservative as far as preserving morals that I see
Such
fit.
as?
The nuclear family,
Okay, so that's
sex,
not
sex. For me, I'm speaking for me.
right.
A marriage between a man and a woman, those things. But that's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm here.
Sorry, can I just clarify something really quick, Jones?
Sure.
So because you aren't gay married, you are anti-gay marriage, or you said you just happen to be straight, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, what you're hearing is I won't stand in the way of anybody doing what they want. It's just what my moral beliefs.
So you're progressive.
I'm not progressive. No,
That's not a moral belief, that's just your sexuality. Like my
I'm
husband
not.
and
I'm
I.
not here to debate that. That's not why I'm here.
Well, no, I understand, but I mean, I just want to make it clear. My husband
Okay.
and I, we're in a
I want
nuclear.
him to answer the second question though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
When has being a conservative ever been a positive thing for marginalized communities, specifically the black people?
Well, as far as again, when I say it's good for, as far as the morals that I was speaking of, I think families are stronger when there's a husband and a wife.
Would you argue that they're stronger if there's a husband, a wife, an aunt, and an uncle, or a husband, a wife, and the grandparents all in the same house? Would you say that those are also stronger?
Yes, I can say that.
That's more traditional to us, and that's not a nuclear family.
Well, okay. I'm gonna give you that one. I'm not here to debate that either. I came for a specific person. I mean, purpose.
Go ahead.
And my purpose was to say this: the Republican Party in its current form is a danger to America as we know it. Trump is a clear and pleasant danger, and I'm talking to people who call themselves conservative. And we need to clean out our own tent before we try to clean out somebody else's tent. We need to get our racism, the people that are racist within our parties, organizations.
All of them?
Yes, we need to get them out, kick them to the curb.
You would have to kick everybody to the curb. It'd be no party anymore.
Well, everybody's not racist that's conservative.
Well, absolutely they are.
No, I'm not a racist.
Absolutely
I'm a conservative. How am I a racist?
Because you participate in white supremacy, friend.
No, I don't.
Yes, you absolutely do.
Eugene, you're arguing with a communist. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He's not a
Can I
Democrat. He's not
can
a
I
liberal. He's not a
please talk to
conservative.
Steve
Eugene, this is
Jones?
a communist.
You,
You're
you
talking
absolutely can.
Please.
I'm gonna respond to Eugene really quickly, and then I'll let you and Steve have it. Okay? Is that fair? Is that everybody
Love
agree
it.
on that?
Thank you, friend.
Okay, great.
So I just wanted to let Eugene know that he's not talking to a Democrat or a Republican or a conservative or a liberal.
Hey, are you Eugene? Are you under the impression that like you can only have two political ideologies?
You can, people can have all kinds of ideologies. I believe people have the ability to think, so they can create as many ideologies that they can come up with.
Okay. So Steve, you know what I'm saying, who I would assume, you know what I'm saying, like isn't very well educated, having a conversation with me, you know what I'm saying, a sociologist, is just weird to me how he's trying to, you know what I'm saying, pigeonhole me into either you're this or you're that, like this binary. You guys are stuck in binary.
I don't like you up here pretending that you're something. You don't mention anything other than you don't like Trump. So
That's not true.
people come in here assuming that you're a Democrat supporting Biden.
No, nobody assumes that at all. Hey, Jess, have you ever been under that assumption?
Nope. I have always seen Jones as someone who's informative, who talks about policy like me, and who talks about the dangers of the Republican Party as a whole with their leader,
if I call one of my
Trump.
friends in here that has never seen you before, what is he going to assume?
Well, because you guys
If
aren't
he
very
sat in here for a length of time.
Exactly.
Right, well,
So
wait,
you're working
if
on
you're
the
not
assumption
wait,
that people
Steve.
think you're part of the political system when you're an outsider
I
trying
am.
to destroy it.
We
Wow.
still vote. Wow, we still vote, sir.
Not
We
only
still,
do
like,
I still
Jones
vote,
still votes.
not only do I still vote, but I regularly work, you know what I'm saying, as a consultant for political campaigns.
I know, and that's
Do you
very
understand?
concerning to me
Wait,
that you're
you
trying to
wait,
destroy our democracy.
wait.
That
So
is
wait,
absolutely
wait,
concerning
can
to
I
me,
ask you a
Mr.
question?
Jones.
Steve,
I am
Steve,
very
let me ask you a
concerned about
question.
that.
Yeah, hold
Steve,
on.
let
Let
me
me go
ask-
back. Jess, let me go back to Eugene really quickly. Let me go back. To
Okay,
Eugene. Sorry,
I'm gonna stick to the topic with
So
what I
here-
was saying. Okay,
So
one
Eugene, let me explain to you what I meant by when I said that, right? Let me say
Go ahead.
what I meant when I say that. So when you're pushing this ideology of the nuclear family, which was literally something created in the 1930s and 40s in the United States, right, and pushed into the 50s, literally the nuclear family didn't include black people. It literally had nothing to do with us. It specifically was about white people, right, moving out of the cities into the suburbs and isolating themselves from all the other marginalized groups, whether it be Latin or black, having, you know, a husband, a wife, 2.5 kids, the white picket fence. It was all about capitalism. It was all about them spending money, you know what I'm saying, to live in the suburbs and things of that nature. That nuclear
understand what
family
you're saying.
idea wasn't for us. Didn't involve
Okay,
us.
I understand what you're saying, and I can see your point of view. But my worldview comes from my Christian beliefs.
Okay,
If you,
got you.
And,
Are
I'm,
you
and I'm
black,
not going to
Eugene?
debate. Wait a minute, let me finish. I'm not going to debate that with you. But that's what
I'm not
my
debating
idea.
it with you. Are you black, Eugene?
Yes, I'm black.
Got you. So you're a descendant of enslaved Africans, yes?
Yes.
Gotcha. And so, as a black person who is a descendant of enslaved Africans, don't you think that it's odd to be screaming in the name of a foreigner's God?
No, because it's not a foreigner God. I mean, like I said, I'm not here to debate religion with you. That's not
Okay,
why I'm
so,
here.
So I'm pointing out, right, how you are actively participating in white supremacy, right?
And I respectfully disagree with you.
But you would, from a sociological, anthropological, and factual standpoint, you would be wrong.
Well, but I still disagree.
By literally, like, as black people, we would not even have the rights we have in today's America had it not been for the queer community, had it not been for LGBTQIA plus people. We wouldn't even have the rights we have now. And you're like, but I don't agree with them. Well, shit, they fucking agreed with you. They agreed for you and with you. They
See,
helped
okay,
you. They helped you be a
okay.
free, like, to gain some semblance of freedom in this country.
Okay, but you're not hearing me. Like I told you that when I started this, I'm not standing in their way of them doing anything. I can
are.
disagree with
You
somebody
are.
without
Yes, you are.
stop.
By your vote, you absolutely are. By using your vote and your beliefs to weaponize them against the existence of other human beings.
But see, that's
Absolutely are.
not that,
Which is the
okay.
epitome of white supremacy.
Okay, see, but you okay, let me kind of slow this down for you so you can understand it from my perspective. Okay, I believe in live and let live, okay? As far as
Except
the
for when you
government,
go to vote.
What do you mean, except for when I go to vote? How do you know how I even vote or what I'm voting
You said
for?
I'm a black conservative, right?
Right?
Right. So
If-
if you're voting for other conservatives, right? Other conservatives who are typically Republicans, right? Then you are literally standing in the way of not only progress, but human rights. The rights of humans to exist as who they are, you know what I'm saying? As who they are.
I totally disagree with you on that one. So I'm not standing in the way of anybody doing anything. That's not how I operate.
Yeah, you're the only one standing in the way, Mr. Jones. I'm sorry.
But I wanted to land my plane. I still didn't get a chance to
Go
land.
ahead and land this plane so we can talk to Steve. Go ahead, say what you need to
Okay.
say, friend.
My whole point is, like I said, the only reason
I don't care. I honestly don't. Go ahead.
Okay,
Landed.
Steve, I'm
Shit's
gonna.
in the ocean. Hey guys,
Steve, I'm gonna.
$237 left in our daily goal. $1 from 237 people will get us right there. So please consider donating so that we can meet our goal and continue to.
All right, I got a few minutes, but
Go ahead.
then I got to
Great,
go.
Steve. I'm going to ask you a very specific question. I want a very specific answer.
Of
If you
course do,
don't
because
answer
you
the
love
question,
leading questions. Every
it's not going to be a
liberal
leading
loves leading
question. It's not going to be a
Because
leading
as soon
question.
as I answer, you're going to be like,
See,
"That's
you're
the
not
answer."
even letting me ask the question, Steve. Stop talking. I'm going to ask a very specific question. I'd like a very specific answer. If you do anything but answer the question, we're just going to mute you.
So
The
leading, a
question
leading
is,
question.
it's not a leading question. You don't even know the question. Stop talking. The question is, can you explain to me ideologically what is wrong with a communist movement? I don't want to hear about what communist countries might have existed or communist societies might have existed. I'm asking ideologically from a Marxist perspective, because that's what we are. We are Marxist specifically. So ideologically, from a Marx perspective of communism, what is ideologically wrong with communism?
I'm not getting into this debate, dude.
Because you can't. Thanks. Got it.
Because communism is the worst form of anything ever created.
Yep. I asked you a specific question that you're avoiding answering.
Period.
What is communism?
You're avoiding answering the question, Steve. Ideologically, what's wrong with communism? Exactly.
You know, I think that the hundreds of millions of people
Nope, that's not what we asked you.
due to
Nope. I
communism
specifically
is a problem.
said I don't want to hear about other societies. I don't want to hear about
You don't want-
countries.
so you don't
I
want to hear about
asked
the
you
hundreds of
ideologically.
millions of
I
people
asked you
unalived by communism, is what you're
ideologically.
saying.
What
So
is
the
wrong
hundreds
with
of millions of
I
people
asked you. Can
unalived
somebody
by
mute him? Can
communism
somebody
isn't
mute him?
important.
Can somebody mute
You
him?
don't have. I didn't know you.
So
were
here's
mod,
here's
my
the
bad,
thing. Here's the thing. If we're gonna go with if you want to give it to me, if we're gonna go with deaths, capitalism has killed billions of people. It's not even close. If we're going on just the amount of people who've died under a specific system, yeah, it's not even close. I asked you specifically, what is ideologically wrong with communism? You cannot do it because you are an intellectual baby. You're an intellectual baby, Steve. You can't answer the question. What is ideologically wrong?
I have a friend that if
I
you
don't
want
wanna
to
care- I don't
discuss
care about your
I don't care about your friend. I don't care about your friend, Steve. I don't care about your friend. I asked
You want to do communism? I have one friend that
Okay, I
don't care about your friend.
deals with communists. You want?
I don't care about your friend. I asked
He
you
deals
a
with communists
question.
on a regular basis.
I asked you a question, Steve.
You don't want to
on.
talk
I
to him.
asked
right?
you
Hey,
a
Jovan.
question,
He's read
Steve.
every Marx Lenin book
Jovan.
there is to know.
I have a friend that is,
And he will
in fact,
absolutely let you
a
know.
neurosurgeon. So
Yeah.
tomorrow I'm going to check in at our local ER and see if they'll let me, you know what I'm saying, wield the scalpel. Because I have a friend that's a neurosurgeon. So
I like how Steve admitted that
About
he has not read these
I
works.
can-
He said, "I have a friend
No,
who's read
he-
all of Marx and all this." Steve has not read any of it. Steve has not read a
Yeah,
single one of. Steve has not read a single one. Learn to speak your turn, Steve. Learn to wait your turn. This is stuff that kindergartners
Jess.
know. This is what
Let's talk
kindergartners
about
know how to do, and you don't know how to do it.
Jess, me and you.
Kindergartners know how to do this, but you don't, Steve. It's crazy.
hey, Jess, I think he has a crush on you.
He does.
It's really simple.
He does.
He's not the only
He does
one.
not know. He does not know what communism states as an ideology. He does not know what Marx's tenets are. All he knows is his friends told him communism bad, and he has run with it. If he wants to answer the question, I'll give him 60 seconds uninterrupted to answer the question. But if I hear anything other than examples of the so you're doing it again. You don't know how to wait your turn.
I understand.
If he's going to give me anything
This
but
is
what
what
I asked him for,
I just want Steve
You
to
see
tell me
this-
what
this-
communism is. Steve, tell me what communism is. I'm going to give you 60 seconds on the clock right now. Tell me what communism is. Don't mention what happened. I knew he was going to run. Okay.
Bye.
Anyways, Jamie LeBron, good morning. How are you? Have you had some water and said something kind about yourself?
How you doing? It's good to be on here and talk about this kind of stuff.
I agree. Have you had some water and said something kind about yourself? Jamie, you're muted. All right. Got it.
I would like to hear 5 good points about communism.
I'll tell you
I got
in
you.
just a second, but you're going to wait your turn. QQ, you said that you can answer that question? What question are you talking about?
Yeah, I can answer why communism is bad, because it's like any other form of government. It starts out with a good
Bro,
ideal.
Did you for real change
right?
your username?
Yeah, no, I didn't change my username. I'm on a different account because I keep getting bananaed by Trump supporters. You know, yeah, you know me as Mark, right? But ideally people put their resources together, right? Comes from commune, right?
No.
They put their resources together and everybody gets a slice, right?
No.
But humans are going to be human, and somebody wants too much power, and then you have a dictatorship or somebody controlling all the rest of the people who are supposed to get an equal share.
Daisy, thank you so much.
Ideally, it's supposed to work, but it doesn't, because humans are human and they want more power than the other one.
Hold on. Can you tell me who the dictator is?
You're also proving Jovan's point, by the way.
Can you tell me who the dictator is? Yeah, I'll send you an invite to unmute.
Oh, excuse me.
Can you tell me who the dictator is?
Yeah, a dictator is somebody who who speaks for the rest of the group.
No, that's not the
speaks for the
question.
rest of the group.
Who would be the dictator is the question.
So if we move to
That's
communism,
just the thing. You don't know.
Well,
That's just the thing. You don't know. It could be somebody really good. It could be somebody really bad.
Can I ask your name, friend? Can I ask you what your name is?
You know who this is.
No, I have no idea.
I didn't hear you. What was the question?
What is your name?
Mark.
Mark. Okay, Mark. Do you know what communism is? Like what the ideology is? Like what the specific tenets that Marx decries when he speaks about communism? Like what specifically it is?
Yes, it comes from the word commune. It means pulling your resources together so that everybody gets an equal share and everybody has an equal sense of power.
So
But
yes
it's
and
not.
no. Yes and no.
It's not how it works.
So hold on, really quickly.
Humans are going to be human.
Wait,
So
Mark,
hold
Mark,
on.
okay, Mark,
Let me speak for a second. And then,
Wait, I want to
will-
first
I will
address.
allow you to respond.
Wait, Mark, I don't want to move into multiple things. I want to first address that first bit there, right? This idea that communism means we're all getting the same share of everything. One of the core tenets of Marxism is from each according to their ability, to each according to their need. So, for instance, let's say Jones has a family of 4, and I'm a single adult. Me and Jones aren't.
Jones has a family of 29. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fair enough. Let's say Jones has a family of 29 because he's 75 years old. Jones's family would get more than me. They may need more than me, so they get more than me. So under a communist system, we're not splitting everything up equally, right? It's just it's more that we're splitting everything up in an equitable fashion. So like if I don't need as much as the next person, why should I take more than what I need?
What business of yours should it be?
Right. But that's my point. So say you become, so every society looks to a leader. And when you have a communist where everybody's supposed to get an equitable share, there's always some, because like I said, humans are going to be human, right?
Stop saying that.
There's
That's
always
not
going to
true.
be somebody who wants more.
No, hold on. Jones, I agree with you.
Babies are born greedy and evil, is what you're telling me, Mark?
Some are.
Yeah, I mean, that's why a lot of these communes in the 60s
So
did not
abortion is
work
cool
out.
then. Okay,
There
got
was
it. I think
somebody
we
who
all
took
agree
it
on
too
that.
far and wanted to regulate the people instead of regulating the land. And this is why communism has gotten a bad name over the years, is because somebody takes it too far into cultish behavior.
Wait, so I want to address that, Mark. I want to address that. I agree that currently, right now, a big portion of humans are greedy. But the problem is under a capitalist system, they are not only able to be greedy, but they're able to profit off their greed. They're able to exploit using their greed. They're able to steal using their greed. So if greed is an issue, why would we go with a system that makes it so not everybody has an equitable say in what happens in said system? Under communism, the usual decree by people like Marx or Engels is it would be a dictatorship of the proletariat, which means that it would be a dictatorship of the working class. Everyone would become a member of the proletariat, so everyone would be of the same class, and we would all have equal say in how the country is run.
Whether they wanted to or not, right?
Why wouldn't people want an equal say?
Yeah, that's just kind of weird to say.
So you take away the right of disagreement.
No,
I
everybody would
actually
have an
think
equal say.
You can have disagreement, Ken, right? That's the whole point. The whole point of equal say is to have disagreements and figure it out together.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Whoever's just saying this, who is that?
Ken
Is
Ray.
it Ken Ray?
Of course.
Okay, Ken Ray. In our current environment, is everyone happy? In our current political structure, is everyone happy?
Do you think in a communist structure?
In our current political, I'm just asking you a very basic
ever
question.
answer questions.
People by nature are not happy.
No, that's not true. I'm a happy person. I don't know about you. Like, I like my life. But just saying, like, we recognize that we are pretty divided as a nation when we look at the political landscape. So would you agree that likely 50% or many people within this country aren't happy? I mean, I literally see people every day talking about, oh, the world's crumbling. I don't know what they're looking at to suggest that. But, like, I'm just asking you, like, would you admit that many people within this own political system are not happy?
I'm going to say, of course not.
Okay, then your argument's flawed. Your argument is worthless. If you're going to say that some people won't be happy in the environment that Jovan is describing, that's every political system. No political system is going to have everyone be 100% satisfied with the things. The only difference between Jovan's political system and the current one is there's equitability. So everyone has access to housing. Everyone has access to food. Everyone has access to healthcare. So in other words, we're prioritizing humanity and the existence of humanity over the free market and money. And
I want a big house.
And my
I want a
argument,
big house.
Justice, that's
I have a
perfect
big
world.
house.
So
That's a perfect
can I
world you're
propose?
talking about. In
Can I
every
propose a hypothetical to you
geopolitical
guys?
system, hold on 1 second. In every geopolitical system, you are going to have a leader, and usually those leaders take it too far. And at least capitalism and socialism, people have
maybe
more
we should
freedom.
stop putting
So I want to
fascists in
address
positions
that
of
really
power.
quickly. I want to address that from a
Socialism is
historical
actually
lens,
would be
real
my
quick, Mark.
preference.
Really quickly, Mark, from a historical lens, basically every single communist government that was fighting for communism was destroyed by capitalist interference. Like almost every single one of them. None of them have failed because of the what's the word I'm looking for? None of them failed because of the intrinsic flaws in communism. They failed because capitalism has come in and destroyed the countries, either with coups or with violent insurrections or with economic warfare. So this it just isn't true that like communism's failed on its own metric. It just hasn't happened. But
Name a country. Name a country
that's failed because of capitalist interference. Sure, Chile. Chile's socialist. Chile was attacked by a socialist coup that was backed by the U.S. government, where they violently removed Salvador Allende from office and put in Augusto Pinochet.
Cuba.
Venezuela, Haiti, Puerto Rico, the Congo, the USSR, like every one of them. Like I don't really feel like naming a country doesn't work because all of them historically were destroyed by capitalist interference. But I have a hypothetical I want to pose to Mark and Ken Ray, right? We'll look under our current system.
Quick commercial break.
Go nuts.
Yeah, really quickly, guys. Let's tap the screen. Let's get to 350K likes, and then I'll take it off of sub only. But we're not actively engaging in the live. Let's protect the live. Also, we have $231 left in our daily goal. If just less than a quarter of you sent $1 to either the Cash App, which is right there, or any of the pay links in my bio, we can easily meet our goal for the day. So please, again, actively participate. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Jovan.
Yeah, so let's look at our current system, how it stands. Let's say you work for a factory. You are just a factory worker. You don't have any power in this factory whatsoever. The factory is turning a profit. So who knows what you're making pencils, but the factory's making a profit. Now the person who runs the factory goes, I can make more of a profit if I send my factory overseas and I export my business. I can double my profit margin by doing this. Now the factory is in a small town. The factory helps, like it helps with the schools because it's funding like the 4-H program. The factory employs a bunch of the people in the town. Like the factory is kind of integral to the way this town works. Now under our current system, that factory owner can just decide to up and move his factory. The workers have no say. They have no, even though the factory is turning a profit, just because he wants to double his profit margins and make himself wealthier, he can move his factory with no ifs, ands, or buts. Do you think this is an equitable system? Do you think this is a system that is good and working? And by the way, this hypothetical happens all the time. So this isn't even a fictional hypothetical. These things have happened
right
all
now
the time.
with John Deere. I just wanted to point that out. John Deere is literally doing that right now. They made $10 billion and they're moving to Mexico to cut cost.
I think it's a system where the workers have freedom if they want to say, hey, I don't like working at the pencil factory. I want to be something else. I don't like the job that's assigned to me and go on to something else. It's still a system that works better than
But you can't make that
somebody
decision if
assigning
the
you.
company doesn't exist. You can't make
Yeah,
that
the pencil
decision.
factory is the number one. It employs 75% of this town because there are factory towns. Factory towns are a thing, right? It employs 75% of the people in this town. What else are they going to do once the factory is gone? Now, under a system that we would propose, which would be a socialist or communist system, that factory is owned predominantly by the workers. So the workers wouldn't move the factory for profit because the workers don't want to move. So they wouldn't move the factory somewhere just to double the profits. They would keep it where they are, and they would consistently keep making the pencils and selling them, and most likely would be selling them for cheaper because they are the people buying the pencils, right? So they recognize that, like, hey, if we can make and sell them for this, why would we sell them for much higher for a profit? Technically, in my opinion, profits shouldn't exist. A company shouldn't be profitable. Companies should only ever break even.
Can I ask, well, not necessarily ask a question, just give my perspective to whoever's the opposition here for a second?
Go ahead, CJ.
So I'm not sure who it was talking, but and that is the opposition. I guess I'm not going to say that you need to necessarily be for communism, but I do think it's pretty disingenuous or unrealistic to not look at the negative impacts on the world in general of capitalism. And one of the biggest negatives to me of capitalism is that it stunts progress in the world. One of the greatest examples of that is in a capitalistic society, the number one goal is profit. So even under the circumstances that we find a solution, we find something, let's say I find the cure to cancer, it would be very likely that a lot of corporations and a lot of businesses, a lot of pharmacies would lobby my government to shut me down completely because they can't make a profit. If I find some renewable energy source, it'll be pretty normal for these oil companies to go lobby my government to shut me down because they can't make a profit off of this energy source. So that kills energy independence, clean energy independence at least. We cure one of the most deadliest diseases. No, capitalism says no to that because it can't turn a profit off of that. That's not a good thing. That's not a society we should want to live under. And again, I'm not necessarily saying you have to go flock to communism. Me personally, I don't know enough about communism to have an opinion on it. But I do think it's fair to recognize, at the very minimum, recognize the issues of capitalism and understand it's a system. It did its job. It's dying out. It needs to be replaced. And we have a really important decision to make. Are we going to put the advancement of humanity and the protection of humanity over just 1% of the population becoming billionaires? I don't think that's something we should do.
Can I ask Ken Ray? You're actually a Republican, right? Because I don't think I guess Mark is necessarily on like Team Republican, but Ken Ray, are you a Republican?
I consider myself. I look at
You're gonna say
myself
libertarian.
as a conservative more than I do a Republican.
Okay, so great. So can I just genuinely ask, like, are you voting for Trump?
Yes.
Okay, shit. So can you tell me what policy exactly that you think is going to benefit, or for that matter, what policy did Trump pass in his first 4 years that makes you think he's a viable candidate for another 4?
Now, this is the 100th time, I imagine, that I've been asked that question. I know y'all
For
get
a
your
good
talking
reason.
points from somewhere.
It's not a talking point.
It didn't originate from you. I can tell you
No,
that.
Ken Ray, the reason I asked this
That's a
question is because
reasonable
the
question.
answer, it's a reasonable question. When we vote for politicians, we vote for their capacity to pass policy that's going to benefit us as American people. It's going to improve our economy. It's going to improve our quality of life. It's going to improve our future. So when we talk about government officials, the entire purpose of them is to legislate and to functionally run the government. So this is the reason you get asked this a lot is because it's an important question if you know anything about government functions. It's not because it's a talking point.
Like,
it's
how
because
is
the reality
change
of government.
affected in this country is the question. How is change affected in this country? Through policy.
Legislated.
Who's to say that legislation should be to give the society a gift?
Nobody said that. Wait.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Well, actually, the Constitution says that. The Constitution clearly outlines that we should be. I'm trying to remember. It's for the.
Yeah, I'm
someone
gonna read
help
it
me.
right now. I'm gonna read it right now.
The Constitution literally states that that's the purpose of this country. It's for
Actually,
the
it
welfare,
states
the welfare of all
we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, and promote the general welfare. And secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, meaning our children's children's children.
And our future, the good, the growth. So how do you adequately put things in place? Let me take it back another notch. What state policy, if you want to, because you're probably a big states right guy, and that's maybe why you think Trump is your guy, which he's not. He's an overreach federalist government, authoritarian dictator. But with that being said,
really?
Yes, I can.
Well, you're getting off on the wrong foot with me.
No, Ken Ray,
right.
I can cite
when
policy
you say
platform
that
from his page. I can cite policy platform from Agenda 47 on his website that proves my statement correct. Would you like to hear
some.
it?
Cite some.
So the first one is on page 1 of his website on Agenda 47, where he says he wants to end birthright citizenship, revoking the 14th Amendment, which is currently a constitutional sound agreement by the 1898 Supreme Court ruling. That is a violation of our Constitution. The other one is he wants to, and every word I'm saying is a word that I'm taking directly from his website. He wants to ban urban camping. He wants to arrest violators of urban camping. He then wants to relocate them, not give them their opportunity in a day in court, stripping them of their Fifth Amendment and due process right. Relocate them to inexpensive parcels of government-owned property where they will erect 10 cities and offer them health care, realizing many of them may refuse the health care, but they will be relocated and out of the way of the public eye. This is a policy platform. Does that sound like government overreach at the federal level?
Not at all.
You don't think?
Jess, I also want to mention he also said that we should terminate the Constitution.
Yes, he did. There's a literal tweet. Where he said we
really
should
quickly,
terminate
guys.
Constitution.
Thank you.
Tell me
Justin.
exactly where that says that.
Ken Ray, hold on one second. Thank you, Justin, for the $5 Cash App. Angelo for the $20 Cash App. Christian and Tamika for the $5 Cash Apps. And thank you, Mel, for the Cash App. I appreciate you guys' support. There's only $195 left in today's goal. So again, if Less than a quarter of you sent $1 to any of the pay links in my bio. We'd meet our goal for the day. Thank you so much for everybody for your support. We're almost at that 350 mark to have sub only removed. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop. Thank you guys for having me up
Thank you,
here. You
CJ.
guys
I'm
have a
gonna
good one.
switch the
That's
what
me.
you call it.
I have the picture
Can I?
right here of that of his tweet so that you can see it and know that I'm not lying.
It doesn't really matter what you say to Kenray, because at the end of the day, I mean, he's still gonna say the exact same thing in another live.
So, Ken Ray, do you see where he says a massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution? Why would he be able to automatically just revoke rules, regulations, and constitutional rights because he's mad about losing an election?
What's the difference between that and martial law?
We don't have martial law.
Yeah, we do. They can declare the martial law.
Yes, but you have to have a sound decision, reason for martial law.
Where does it say it can't be a sound decision?
So you're saying the Constitution says you can just call martial law willy-nilly? Is that what you're trying to claim?
No, I'm not saying, and I don't think I don't think that's meant as willy nilly.
Why are you comparing martial law to him saying suspend the Constitution?
What does it say right there? Massive fraud, widespread fraud.
But there wasn't any.
There wasn't any. 62 court cases said there was no fraud. 2 independent Trump hired industry or companies both investigated all the fraud that was being supposedly claimed. All of it was disproven. He had zero evidence of fraud.
Our 6-3 conservative-led Supreme Court even called it a safe and fair election.
Okay, well, he may feel like it was not a fair election, but he didn't get his way. He's not going to go back. He's not going to go back and change that from the time.
Sir,
that's the future.
Sir, he just got immunity on any instance that happens while he was president if it involved a conversation with one of his staff or cabinet members or VP. That is some of the most unilateralist, dangerous decisions from our Supreme Court that should make you be very fearful for someone having that level of authoritarian power.
The Supreme Court just said
that he has.
It looked like somebody. I thought I just.
He has immunity for official acts, and then they defined official acts as any time the president is in conversing with members of his cabinet, the vice president, anybody on his staff, that is deemed by the definition of the 6-3 Supreme Court as official acts. So that means he could sit down with Vice President Mike Pence and say, I'm going to go unalive so-and-so. And because of the conversation between him and Mike Pence, that's an acceptable official act that he could be immune from. Even if it's for the whole purpose of like, this guy knows dirt about me and I don't want to tell him, maybe like Epstein or something. So like, I'm just saying, you're ignoring the reality of what this ruling just set forth as precedent.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
What the Supreme Court just basically said is you can't try to read a president's mind.
No, it did
you
not.
Can't,
you did not read the ruling. The ruling says
you cannot mind right.
No, it does not say that. It says in the ruling that official acts are deemed anytime he is conversing and counseling with members of his staff, administration, vice president. So no, you're wrong. Because if he says out loud what he's thinking to his vice president, that is covered as an official act and protected, even though he says out loud exactly what his intention is and why. You didn't read the thing. You're not paying attention.
No,
thank you, Justin, so much. I appreciate.
When you look at Jack Smith
is
reading.
To me.
You're interrupting me. You're interrupting me. You're interrupting me. You're interrupting me. I'm going to say again that.
May I just say, Ken Ray, the big word you used was spell, and then.
Go ahead. Ken Ray, say what you can. Say what you have to say so Jess can respond, please.
I appreciate that. Number one, it does cover trying to read a president's mind. Not one time did he say overthrow the government. Not one time did he ever say that. You can't guess what somebody's thinking and charge them for it. You should.
Okay, sorry. He coordinated 13 electives to cast a ballot that were not legally put together. They were not chosen by their legislative branch in Georgia. This was a conspiracy that he did on the side where they located 13 loyalists that would pose as electorates to cast a ballot for him instead of Biden, even though Biden officially won Georgia.
And where does it say he did that?
In the literal, what is it?
Where does it say he said he told them to do that?
It's in the court case. There's multiple eyewitness testimony. It's in the indictment.
It's in the indictment?
Yes, with multiple first party, including the actual people that went and did the electorals as fake electors. They literally testified that Trump was in on it.
Well, again, he has immunity. And you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time because you got what your opinion is got overturned this morning.
Kenway, yes, you're making my point why it's dangerous because I just pointed out to the fact that 13 fake electors that were put in place by Trump and his administrative staff and his allies. They knew what their intention was. Their intention was to lie, to do an illegal act for the purpose of overturning an election in Georgia and giving them the electoral colleges they need to win the presidents. So that is not making fun, like not pretending to know what he was thinking. That is clear evidence of what he was thinking. It is on record, but because he involved members of his cabinet, he gets to be immune to it. You think that's fair, even though we know clearly what his intention was? You think he should?
When you say it's on record, where can you read it at? Where can you state that?
In the indictment, there's literal testimony in the indictment from those involved in the elector scheme.
You just lost this morning.
Can I ask a question?
You just lost this morning. You just lost this morning.
Lost. As a country,
No.
Kenray, can I ask you a question, please?
You're half lost. You're half lost.
Kenray,
go right ahead.
So we're not all Americans anymore. Got it.
No, we're not. If Joe Biden decides, Kenray, if Biden decides today, if Joe Biden decides today, I want to tell the FBI to go and arrest Donald Trump because I suspect him of these crimes. Go arrest him, charge him, put him in jail. Would you be against this?
Let's read Joe Biden's mind.
Can you answer the question?
I'm asking it. I'm answering it. We're going to read Joe Biden's mind. What's little's left of it there?
I would argue Kenray doesn't have much left of his mind either, but
that's crazy.
Well, anyway, I guess who's back?
Is it Kiara?
Yeah, but my account is back.
Oh, congratulations.
Yay.
No, Shady's back.
Kenray, this is your team right here. They sell this shit at the MAGA rallies. I'm really confused, Kenray, because Giovanni asked a pretty straightforward question, basically showing your own ignorance, that if Biden did what Trump did, you'd have a problem with it, and you sure as shit want him to have immunity. It's also worth noting, Trump is on record, which on recording, like on being recorded, saying these documents are top secret classified documents. I could have declassified them when I was president, but I'm not president anymore. That he showed to randos. What do you think about that? That's like literally a breach of our security, our national security. Do you have a problem with that, Kenray? You have to hit the unmute button, buddy. Nobody can hear you. I hope you're
Joe Biden had a ton of them.
Nope, I didn't ask that question.
Oh yes, I know.
Kenray, I'm asking
what about Biden,
bro? He can't answer a question. It's all whataboutisms.
There's
you damn right it is, Joe Vaughn.
Kenray.
You damn right it is, Joe Vaughn.
All you can say is what about this? What about that?
Yeah, you damn right it is about that.
Do you think it was wrong when Obama wiretapped Donald Trump's phone? Do you think that was a breach of power?
You know what? If they can't prove that Obama said to do it, there's nothing we can do about it.
Let's say we find a recording of Obama telling the director of the FBI to wiretap Donald Trump's phone. Is this an abuse of power?
You couldn't personally convict him of it. You don't think it's an abuse of power? Well, I would say that he unalived somebody just because they didn't agree with him, an American
No.
citizen.
Do you think it's an abuse of
I
power
just answered
for the
that. I just
president? No, you
answered it.
didn't. Do you think it's an abuse of power for the president to wiretap the phone of his political opponent using the Department of Justice?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, the Supreme Court disagrees with you.
How's that?
Because the Supreme Court said that the president can do whatever they can ask the Department of Justice to do whatever they want, and it is not. This is what they just decided today with Trump, that the president can ask the Department of Justice to do whatever they want, and it's not an abuse of power because it's within their official capacity to ask the Department of Justice to look into anybody for any crime for any reason. So it's interesting that you have a problem with it when it's Obama, but you don't have a problem with it when it's Trump.
No,
You're
it's
a hypocrite.
interesting.
You're a hypocrite.
It's interesting. You're doing a whataboutism already.
we're not.
I'm not
We're
doing
proving
whataboutism.
Yes, you
This is
are.
the exact
You brought
same-
up.
this is
You
the
brought up
exact
about.
Same
Okay.
instance.
All right.
I'm
What
testing
about
your
the
logic,
fact
and your
that
logic fails?
no? The logic is when that election took place, there were multiple states breaking their own state
No, they weren't.
constitutions.
Name one.
Yes,
Name
they
one.
were.
Name one.
No, they weren't.
Name
Oh
one.
yeah. Pennsylvania, number
No,
one.
no, they didn't.
You can't.
No.
You can't.
No.
Who says that you can
No.
run over?
Supreme
I'm
Court.
from
The
Pennsylvania,
Supreme Court.
Hold
and
on.
The Supreme Court.
I can't talk. You know.
Mark
I-
is in
Yes, but that's not
I'm not.
because
I'm
that's
not
not
going to
because
be
you're being
able to talk.
overtalked.
I'm not going to be able.
That's
Yeah,
because you're
I
overtalk.
was
overtalked.
just
Damn right, I'm
trying
being
to explain
overtalked.
that to you.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Pennsylvania,
Hold
the
on.
Pennsylvania
Guys,
legislature.
guys,
yeah,
hold on a second.
yeah. I was trying
Let
to
Ken Ray-
make
Ken
my
Ray.
point.
Hold on, bro. I'm trying to help you. Shit. Let Ken Ray make his point, and then individually, one at a time, you guys can refute the point. Thank you.
My point is they did do it. How many? How many? There, lady, please.
You have to give specifics, Ken Ray. Give us specific.
You had certain states that went way over what their state constitution said that the time limit they had. You can't. There were people counting votes 3 weeks after that. Why
That
is
usually
that
happens.
happening?
That usually
happens.
Right.
We're
With mail-in
QQ.
votes, it usually happens.
We're
Right. It doesn't
QQ.
all happen in one night. Because I'm from Pennsylvania, and they passed that legislature in April of 2021, and the Republicans were so fine with it that it was an overwhelming supermajority rule that they could have mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania.
There's nothing
because
wrong
of
with
the
mail-in.
pandemic.
There's nothing
Right,
wrong with
but-
mail-in ballots.
And they set the rules in April 2021 that they could be received up until 3 days after the election. So yeah, your point is not good.
It's not
And
good.
yeah, and Philadelphia is the only city in the United States that had round the clock ballot counters, and they needed it because they had over 800,000 ballots in Philadelphia County alone.
Also, it's worth noting that many states like Virginia, if it's postmarked by a certain day, they have upwards of 5 days to count those ballots, which means it goes past the actual election date. Many of our things are called in advance, even though not all ballots have officially been counted, because they have enough of the majority in to recognize how it's going to go. They're very rarely incorrect on that. So you not knowing how the law functions and you making blanketed talking point statements from what you saw in on some bullshit committee, which I saw the ones in Pennsylvania,
I
saw the ones in
listened
Arizona,
and-
I saw the one in Georgia. I watched all of them. I watched Rudy Giuliani sit there with Melissa Carone and like talking all her nonsense. I watched all of those. And what I'm telling you is there was no there. They all legal. In fact, the one that he's talking about, the Pennsylvania one that got challenged in went all the way to the Supreme Court. Here's the fun fact about that. That was something that, like he said, Republicans voted for, not in 2021. It was actually, I believe, in 2019. And they literally told him that if Trump had a problem with this type of political change to their electors at the state level, they should have challenged it prior to the election. They chose to wait till after they were harmed, namely lost the election, to try to levy a lawsuit. And then literally was told, no, a Republican ran government voted for this. You guys didn't say anything before. And now that you lost, it's a problem. That was literally what happened in Pennsylvania.
And to piggyback real quick, just to piggyback off of you, we have to remember the Supreme Court found no election fraud. Every higher and lower court found no election fraud. Bill Barr, Trump's own guy, found no election. There is not a single. But Rudy Giuliani admitted to lying about election fraud in a court case. Fox had to pay billions of dollars in restitution for lying about the Dominion voting machine.
Billions of dollars.
They had to pay
Billions of dollars.
They had to pay millions of dollars in restitution. I think it was $1 billion, right? It was
M with the millions. Yes, they had to pay like $171 million in retribution or whatever.
Yeah. So this idea that there's this widespread election fraud was copped up by Donald Trump. He started talking about election fraud before the election, just so that his people would. Here's a question for you: do you think if for 4 months your guy keeps saying "Don't vote by mail. Vote by mail is bad. Don't vote by mail," and then all of a sudden overwhelming the vote by mails come for the other guy? Do you think there could be a reason? Do you think it could be that Trump kept telling his people not to vote by mail? So the reason a bunch of the vote by mail ballots were Democrat is because Trump told all the Republicans not to vote by mail?
I don't believe Trump won.
Can you give me the big screen?
Okay, well,
I do not believe
right,
that Trump won that election.
Okay, so do you not think that him constantly denying a fair election is anti-democratic?
I'm saying it's his opinion. He has that right.
I think
he has that right. That's called free speech. If he wants an opinion, he can have an opinion, Kiara.
It's Kiara. So it's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Trump can have an opinion. You can have racist opinions. You can have bigoted opinions. And you can have hold on, almost done. And you can also have anti-democracy opinions. And that is what your president or the one that you're trying to vote for is reflecting. Me personally, I love living in a democracy. I think democracies are good. And somebody denying the democratic process is very dangerous.
Well, so
also, maybe I'm just wild, but if you factually believe Trump lost the election and he factually believes he doesn't, why would I vote for somebody who's clearly factually incoherent? Who believes in something that didn't happen?
That doesn't make my decision, Jovan.
Can we take a minute to look how ridiculous these fools are? Look how dumb this person looks.
What the hell's that got to do? You pick one people to represent
went to the rally.
One person.
I went to a rally of 10,000 people. Steve, that was in here earlier, was there. They all look like this.
How about the other
in Trump gear and
how about the other 70-some million? How about the other 70-some million?
I'm just saying, does this look like cult mentality?
That people that just go to work and come back home.
Ken Ray, stop. Let me ask you a question. Who did the Triple K endorse Donald Trump? Yes or no?
That would be like saying.
No, I'm asking you a simple question. Can you not?
To me, there's no difference between. To me, there's no difference between the Triple K than what your opinion. Well, you're not. You're trying to pigeonhole me and put me in a corner. Yes, you are. He doesn't acknowledge the Triple K. He does not acknowledge the Triple K.
You don't know what my point is, please.
Hold on 1 second, Jess. His dad was arrested at a Triple K.
What does it got to do? He's not his dad. And you got proof of that?
Yes, he was arrested.
Well,
at a Triple K
pull it up and show it. But in the meantime, he's not his father. He's not his father.
Fine. Please let me have a question. I'm asking you simple questions. So if you won't answer, then I'll just say it out loud. But can you say yes or no? Did the Triple K endorse and put on their front page of their newsletter that they endorsed Donald Trump in 2016? Yes or no?
I didn't see it, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay, they did.
Okay.
David Dukes, who was a well-known white supremacist and Triple K member, he publicly endorsed. He was caught on video, raving about it. He was at the Charlottesville rally raving about it, okay? Okay, let's talk about Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a known white supremacy neo-schmazi. He has outwardly said that he's voting for Trump. The AFAC, the entire APAC or whatever, not APAC, what is it? Yeah, it is APAC, APAC, that group that Fuentes runs. All white supremacy groypers. They're all voting for Trump. They're endorsing him. Okay, let's see. What I'm trying to point to you is you may not think that Trump supports them, but let me ask you this question. Why do these groups support Trump? What about Trump
because
makes, wait,
because
what
they
about
have
Trump?
one because they have one thing:
What's the one thing?
anti-illegal
No, that's
anti-illegal
not it. They
immigration
literally,
in
no,
common. What
Nick
else would
Fuentes,
they have in common with Trump?
Christian nationalism, and Christian nationalism to white supremacy. Literally, Nick Fuentes told his best friend Sneeko that he's voting for Trump because he believes Trump will bring in a Christian nationalist nation, where people like Sneeko will not
They
have political
believe.
power.
They believe.
Yes. Why would they believe that, Ken Ray?
And
Why would they believe that?
out of
Why
the
would they believe
70
that?
some out of the 70 some million people in this country, number one, I
Oh
don't
my
think
God,
Trump's
you're
really.
just
I don't.
stop pivoting.
Don't interrupt me, please.
No, I'm going to interrupt you because you're pivoting. I'm not asking you about your diatribe.
I'm not
I'm
pivoting.
asking
I
you-
just
yes,
told you.
are.
I just told.
All right, excuse me.
No.
I gotta take control of this live. First of all, stop yelling on my lives. It's literally too early in the morning for that. Secondly,
Christ.
like if you're on the same side as the Schnazis, and I don't care how many Schnazis are on the same side as you, if you're on the same side as the Schnazis, you're on the wrong side. It's really that simple. It doesn't matter if it's 10 Schnazis or 10,000 Schnazis or 10 million Schnazis. If you're on the same side as the Schnazis, you're on the wrong side. Period. I can assure you, no Schnazis are on the left. Literally. If you sit down at a table of 6 Schnazis and they start talking about Schnazi shit and you don't leave the table, then there's 7 Schnazis at the table now. It's really that simple. This is simple.
I don't see much difference. I don't see much difference in a Nazi. I don't see much difference in a Nazi than I do a communist.
Because you're uneducated.
Because you're uneducated.
Well,
that's really.
The
Hey guys,
communists are
yes,
furthest
there's only
left and Nazis
$139
are
left in our
furthest
daily
right.
goal, guys. $139 left in our daily goal. If less than a third of you sent $1, we would easily meet our goal. Please support the platform. It allows us to continue to do the works that we do in the community and host these spaces every day.
Ken Ray,
Chiara, where's your education got you? Where's your education got you?
Sorry, I don't know who that is. Who is that?
What does that mean? Why are you even asking that question?
No, I don't know.
Where is your education got you?
Who were you referring to?
Who are you talking to?
I forget what her name is now. Running.
Jess?
Where's your?
Yeah.
I don't know which. Yeah. Where's your education got you?
A great home, a great family, a good job. I'm running second time for a position at the state delegate position in my state. I mean, I'm doing pretty well, actually.
What type of work do you do?
I work in the school system. I work in administration.
Well, that figures.
It figures. Why? That I care about education?
So you make what, maybe 75 a year tops?
No, I make poverty wages. I make $13,000 a year because I'm a part-time administrator.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not going to tell you what I made, but it's a lot more than that.
Make. Why does that have
Well,
to do with
that's where my education got me. That's what the education's about,
you know that
isn't
there's
it?
people that have zero education that make millions of dollars every day. They've never had any formal education or any education whenever they read at a 7th grade level.
Is there something wrong with that?
No, it just proves that our country is very keen on giving people that really aren't that successful in the mental capacity department eligibility to be very profitable.
Gives them eligibility.
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Yeah, it gives them the access to be in very profitable situations, even though they're ignorant.
Access?
Yes, access. Like you as
What
a
does
white
that
man
access?
have more access than me as a white woman.
Oh,
or
now
Jones
we're
as a
going to
black
get into
man.
now we're going to get into the racist thing.
No, I'm just making a point.
Just making a point.
Wait, did you
You
just
know
say?
you know how hard it is to even get into the upper middle class?
Yeah,
I do.
because of capitalism. And why did you?
Because
Did you just
what
say?
is wrong with that, Chiara?
Chiara. The fuck is Chiara? I don't know what that is. Can you read, bro? Like, you're clearly not educated if you cannot do a k sound. Like Christian, Christina, Christian. It's Kiara.
Tell me, Chiara. Well, tell me, Chiara. Well, tell me, Chiara.
Okay.
Tell me, Chiara. Tell me.
Kiara. Okay, you cannot possibly tell me that you're educated, that I had to correct you 10 times for my name.
I'm doing it on purpose,
Oh
Chiara.
my god, then you're so funny. Okay, Ken bitch.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
Ken bitch,
That's
go
I don't
ahead.
care what you call me.
Yeah, okay,
Just don't
Ken
call
bitch.
me
I
late
don't.
for dinner.
Ken bitch, go ahead.
You
What
would
what
never
did you
come
want to
to
ask
dinner.
me?
I can't even remember now.
Yeah, because you're an old little fuck. That's why.
There,
Ken,
are
just
you an
stand
ageist?
back and stand by. Have a
Jeez, you're just
ring a
like
bell
the
to
Nazi.
you.
You're just like the Schnazis. You're an ageist.
I'm
What?
anti. I'm
Yeah,
Yo,
actually
I'm just gonna
Antifa.
say,
Crazy.
I'm just gonna say, as somebody who's
I've
friends with
I've
Hold on
both
li-
one second,
sides,
guys. Biden.
I've
Wait,
lived long enough. It's
hold
time
on,
for me to go.
guys.
Right?
No, nobody said that. Chill out, bro. I said give me a second. Thank you, Alexandria, Michaela, Rhonda. Stay hydrated, which I absolutely love that name, and Michelle for all of your donations. I truly appreciate your support. Okay, go ahead, guys.
I was gonna say ageism is okay. Sorry, not sorry.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
I don't think
I
it's
mean,
okay. I don't think that's okay at
Well,
all.
yeah, look at
No,
my
I
dad.
disagree.
Only $100 left, guys. Only $100 left.
Jones is 75 years old, and it's okay to point that
No,
out.
he's
It's okay
older
to
than
say that
70.
75 year
How
olds.
is ageism okay? I don't think
Because
ageism is
it's
Mark.
okay.
Hold on, Mark.
no,
Hold
it's
on.
okay to say that 81-year-olds shouldn't be running our country. I think that's okay.
Absolutely. I agree.
I think it's
Listen,
okay to say that people over a certain age probably shouldn't drive anymore. I think these are okay things to say. Humans decline as time, like we decline cognitively, physically, and we should probably recognize that that does happen, and not sit here and go, "Oh, well, I'm okay with
Right,
old
but how
people
are you
making
going
the
to feel
choices."
when you're that age
The
and
The
then
same.
same,
somebody says you
The
can't
same.
drive?
homie,
You're not going to feel too
my
good.
retirement plan at 75 is a shotgun. I'm not going to be that age.
That's
Not
I'm
tyranny.
not
just,
letting
not
myself
just,
get that age. I don't want to be that old.
not just
But
that. And Javon is also not gonna run for president when he's that old.
Right.
So
You,
I
you,
mean,
you telling me somebody's not going to miss you? That you're at 75, you're just going to end your life? Somebody's not
okay,
going to miss
there's a
you?
there's a
I'm not
time and
being old,
place for
homie. I'm
old
not doing it.
people. Nobody's saying that old people can't exist, period, but they just can't exist in office because you can attribute most of our societal problems to old white men. Like Ken
Also,
bitch down there.
not for nothing, right? I'm not even gonna be like trying to be funny, but how am I gonna know if they miss me or not? I'm not here any longer. Thank you, Holly.
I'll miss you,
Let's
Jones. I'll be at your
let's
funeral in
ask
5
your
years. I
son.
promise.
Please don't have a funeral.
How you feel about that, baby? Would you like to see him off himself when he gets up to 75 years old?
Why
first of
would
all, I think
Jones do that?
anybody
That
who
was my
chooses to
plan,
end
not
their
Javan's
his.
lives,
not my
anybody,
dad.
wait, Ken Ray, do you not support the
When did
decision
I
for
say
your own
that
life
this was
in life
me?
termination?
I'm
Ken Ray,
sorry, running.
do you believe in
What'd you say?
personal rights and personal decisions for
Yeah, I mean,
freedom?
if you want to off yourself, I wouldn't stop you.
Right. Right.
I
So
mean,
why do you think, well, isn't it funny how the government has eliminated the ability for someone to have self-assisted unaliving if they have terminal illnesses, even though they're making the personal decision for their own end of life?
I don't think I'm against that.
Well, your party is.
No, I hope Kiara can just
No,
get
it's,
banned again.
no,
Your party
no, no,
is.
no, no,
Yes, your party is
no.
adamant against end of life, self end of life. Yes, they are. Medical end of life. Yes, they are.
They
Not
got
as a
Kiara, did you
whole.
get
Not
bananas?
as a
Yes,
whole. We're
they
not.
are. Well, the people you're voting for
yes.
that have the position of power to vote for those policies are.
Well, how about anything the Democrats vote for that
Name something.
may
Name
contribute?
something. Name something. Name a policy.
You
You
mean
don't
something
know
that may
policy. Ken
a
Ray, name a
policy that
policy.
contributes to capitalism?
No, name a policy, period, from Democrats that you think is harmful. Name one. Name a policy, not your talking points, not your crazy diatribe of words, an actual piece of legislation that you see as dangerous for this country passed by Democrats.
Anything that has to do with
Nope,
spending
no,
tax.
that's not.
No, don't tell
No,
me.
I want a policy.
Don't
We
tell
don't even
me
have any tax
no.
plans right now by Democrats. Give me a policy. The
Don't tell
tax
me
plan
no
we're
is
under right
crazy.
now, the policy we're under right now with the tax plan is Trump's, which expires for everyday Americans and has
I know
increased
it.
every
I know
year
exactly when it
and gives
expires.
indefinite breaks for the highest earners, the corporate billionaires and millionaires. So I'm
And what
asking
is Trump
you,
run? What is Trump running on?
he's running
Cutting the
on
taxes for
literally,
rich people even more.
yes, even more. In fact,
Actually, he wants
he's
to
actually
lock
floated.
in.
Yes, he's floated a universal tax that would destroy our economic deficit. I mean, it would destroy our economy. Like
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Nobel
Are you an
Nobel-winning
economist, Ken Ray?
economists,
Name a con.
six Nobel-winning economists have all chimed in on the policy that he is proposing and said it will single-handedly destroy our economy. 6.
When has it ever destroyed?
Nobel.
When has it ever destroyed our
We haven't
economy?
had it come to fruition. We have
Homie,
never
do
had
you
someone.
remember the
Oh
Great
my
Depression?
God, yo, hey, I got it. I got to restart, y'all. Jesus Christ.
Go. Progress.
Open
your eyes. I'm worried, you know?
Hey, Javon,
That was crazy.
Don't talk about taking yourself out anymore.
I was joking.
I think it was
Kinda.
50-50. I don't think you can completely attribute this to Javon. I think this was definitely my bad too.
I just meant I don't want to be old. That's all I meant.
Nah, I dig it.
I did get the appeal through, so we're safe. We're good.
Y'all are
God, I was so ready to prepare a skit for Ken too. That would have slayed so hard. You ruined it.
Why has nobody been able to answer questions today?
They don't want to because they know that the things that they are saying sound absolutely batshit crazy.
By the way, Kiara, you want to hear something crazy that Jones did?
Is it some boomer shit?
Maybe.
Okay, let's
Kiara, if you saw how spotless this house was right now, I haven't gotten a single thank you yet. I haven't gotten a single thanks, bro, for cleaning.
I did say something this morning when I was talking to Jeff. Nah, listen, that the organization in the hallway, like, melted my whole fucking cold, dead ass heart. And then, the new trash can, I was like, oh.
The new trash can's sick, right?
Yeah, I was like, I'm loved.
Have you seen the laundry room yet?
I did. It's organized.
Yeah, I went in.
Up and shit.
Javon, let me say it then. Thank you so much for helping out the tough fan. I love you.
Hey, listen, I told.
All right. Do y'all see that guy in the back right with the long beard and the turban on?
There's no way.
Yeah, that's my dad. That's my dad at the birth of Jesus. If y'all didn't know.
I'm holding a big ass blunt in my hand.
Slay?
Yep.
Yeah, it's my dad at the birth of Jesus. I told y'all he was there.
So you're telling me you didn't bring gold or anything? You just brought weed?
I mean, you can call it. I mean, shit, it's worth as much as gold to some people.
That's really funny.
We called it frankincense back then. We didn't call it weed.
We called it frankincense.
I cannot lose my account anymore. I gotta chill out. Like, my pregnant hormone levels were raging. You were gone, Jones. I don't know if you heard what I called him.
No.
He was here when you said it. I saw the look on his face.
No, I thought he was gone when I called him. Never mind. I'm not gonna say
I'm pretty sure he was here. I'm pretty sure he was here because he went, ooh, no, he was here. I remember clearly.
Yeah, we called it frankincense.
See, your
well,
brain
now I have to
making you
redo my
forgetful,
skit,
too.
but it's fine. I still got it. No worries. Oh my god. So tired.
Lord
oh, damn it.
What?
I stepped in shit. I literally stepped in shit right now.
Oh, like actually? Like you're not using a euphemism?
Completely stepped in shit right now.
That was funny. Did Jones even see it?
No, he didn't, but
No,
that's
he
okay.
missed it. That's so funny.
What did I miss?
And I did have the same thing for Ken Ray.
I heard that.
No, you didn't
You
see
didn't
it though.
see?
Oh no. I
No,
don't
he
want
didn't see. You gotta revisit.
I
Oh,
stepped in shit.
that's hilarious.
Y'all say for free, I'm gonna ban you immediately. I'm using my mod powers.
The Grippers.
I had the same skit played out for Ken Ray. I got his screenshot and everything. And now, well, we just gotta use the Confederate flag.
That picture you used that you said I need a hero, I just saw the TikTok about that. That is wild. My daughter sent it to me. I'm like, you're horrible.
I
Do
love
you guys
that
think
Twitter.
Jones is big enough to have a WikiFeed account? Like, is he famous enough to have a
Yes.
So
WikiFeed?
you want to hear some funny shit, y'all? So while
I
I was
have a
in Virginia,
Wikipedia?
while I was
No,
in
not a
Virginia,
Wikipedia, a WikiFeed.
Listen, while I was in
It ranks
Virginia,
celebrities' feet.
I was at Chuck E. Cheese,
Ew.
and the lady was like, "Oh my God, I know you. You're Mr. Jones from TikTok." She gave me free pizza, free drinks, free game
Damn.
card. You know what I'm saying, for the kids to play. One lady walked up to me in the.
Look at that celebrity clout happening.
One lady walked up to me. A couple of people recognized me at the Women's March, but one lady walked up to me in the airport, and she was like, "Oh my God, I just have to tell you, I absolutely love your podcast." I'm like, "I have a podcast?" That's what I was thinking in my head. That's what I was thinking in my head. But nah, I mean, it was what?
We should make a podcast though. For
How
real.
I have a
What happened?
restriction for age appropriate content?
Oh, it's WikiFeed. Whoops.
Siobhan ruining everything for everybody.
I didn't know that they would age restrict you for feet. No, actually, it was Kiara showing her grippers.
No,
That's what it really
Oh
was.
yeah, it was.
It was
You
not.
showed the feet.
Oh geez.
It's definitely the showing of the.
It's not the show.
It's the showing and then talking about the website. That it was a combo. I bet you it was a
That
combo.
being said, me and Joan should probably start a podcast. I don't know why we haven't yet.
You literally live together. Jesus
We
Christ.
literally are in the same house. We could make an episode once a week.
Easily.
It would be
Speaking
so
of-
easy.
I did buy IKEA stuff yesterday. I don't know if you want to run a poll. Like, how many of you do you think believe that my husband and I are gonna make it through this without a divorce? Because
You'll do it. I have faith in you. When
Oh.
me and my now husband moved into our house, I bought like 6 items off IKEA and I built them all by myself. And there was only a
I
few times that I
know.
was screaming curse words, but I did pretty good.
But
As someone who's a dump
I'm
his ass
hormonal.
girly, you don't ask me because I'll just say dump his ass. You for the truth.
Read the instructions, okay? Don't listen to him and say we don't need these.
No, he doesn't.
Because
He-
Is
five,
IKEA furniture?
yeah.
I got a crib yesterday. I got a changing table yesterday, and I got like a bedside. How do you call it? Like an organizer where I can put like breast pumping supplies.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like, if anybody's broke, a college student like me, and is about to have a baby, this crib plus changing table, guess how much?
$250.
No, 150. The changing
Damn.
table was $39, and the crib was 100 and.
Is this your first?
Yeah, it's my first baby.
Oh, bless you.
I know. First and last.
I keep telling my children not to have children. I'm so bad.
No, that's okay. I mean, honestly,
Quentin said this week when he was with me and the girls, he was like, "Yo," he said, "they just remind me constantly not to have kids."
but it's different if it's your siblings, as if it's your own.
No, I don't agree with that. I think it's the same.
I didn't want to have
And I have
kids
3
because of my
children.
siblings. My siblings were fucking wild, man. They were a menace. They were an absolute.
You know what?
menace.
I'm at the mindset where I'm just scared I'm going to screw these little humans up. Even at this point.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at.
You are gonna fuck them up, but or to which
what
degree?
extent?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So how badly are you gonna ruin their life?
I just
So
want them
that's
to
the
yell
question.
I just want them to yell at stupid men and make sure that they know that.
Wait,
Um,
here's
um,
okay. So a question. Don't you guys think me and Joan should go set a table up in a populated area in Florida with
Yeah.
a sign that says "Tell us why you won't vote Democrat," and we debate people in real life?
Yes.
I love that.
It's
I
hot
think
as
you
fuck
should.
outside.
It really
I mean,
is.
but Trump supporters stand outside for hours to watch Trump. They'll come up to you and say some stupid shit.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
I think we
where to
should do
go,
it,
too.
Jones.
I know exactly where to go too.
We got to get film permit because I don't think Florida is a right to film state. I think you have to get a permit.
Really?
No, it's
Yeah.
a
Free
two.
state is not a right to free. It's a film state.
No, it's a
wild.
No,
two-
but there's a difference when you're doing a film production versus just like filming with your phone outside. right? They're like
Yeah.
they classify those two things differently,
Oh,
and
I
this would be
gotcha.
like an actual like film production.
Yeah, recently learned about like also the whole you can't record your the phone line or whatever, like especially to use it in court. Like if you were to
Oh,
record your rapists without like without their knowledge, trying to make them admit to what they did, it cannot be admitted in court unless it's like a one party consent state. Isn't that messed up?
well, yeah, it depends on where you live
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
where
but
the
you got to
person
remember,
lives.
it is important to have things like that for like entrapment laws and stuff. Because like if
It's a
somebody
catch
gets you
22.
to, yeah, if somebody gets you to say something that like, you know what I mean?
I understand, but I mean, there's the thought that you can't even like record your own crime. Like even if you do that and they wouldn't admit to, like they wouldn't use that in court is kind of crazy to me. I mean, there should be some protections, but yeah.
That's why a lot of those like hidden camera shows, like Impractical Jokers, films in New York a lot because New
Yeah,
York is a one-party state. You don't need
Right.
consent
I used
from
to
the. You
watch
don't
them
even need to have them sign
religiously.
away because it's the funniest show on the planet.
It's so funny. I'm sad that like they aren't all a four still though. Do you know what? Do you know that Merv came to my stepson's high school graduation? And I got to meet him and hang
Slay.
out with him. Yeah, I have pictures of myself with him.
Oh my
Who
God,
did?
share.
Merv from Practical Jokers. So
Oh, okay, yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
he's a big Catholic, okay? And my stepson graduated from a Catholic private school in York County, and his nephew graduated with him. So he was at the graduation and like hung out and came to the like the after like little like reception event, and I got to hang out with Merv from Impractical Jokers. That's pretty cool.
That's cool. Like literally, you guys haven't tapped the screen in like 15, 20 minutes. That's terrible.
Get to tapping.
We're not going to be able to hit the FYP anyway because they put this age restriction on the live. It's so ridiculous, man. I swear.
You do have your main though, no?
Not until tomorrow.
Yikes! What did you do? Have you been naughty?
No, they said it had something. They said it was what did they say I did? Something sexual exploitation, some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they be talking about. They just be saying shit.
Well, I don't know if it's at this point like AI or not. Like, especially when it comes to those kind of stuff. Like,
They just make up stuff at this point.
well, but I mean, let's start liking it because
Not a
then.
boomer. He's not a boomer. He's the same age as me. Stop it,
No, it's
Marmar.
no, Jess. It's a state of mind. It's not the age itself. It's
Okay,
a
I'm an
state
old
of-
soul too. I'm still not a boomer.
No, you're not a boomer because you know how to operate a phone without any problems, or set up your Apple ID and stuff. Like, I wouldn't call you a boomer at all.
Thanks.
I never.
Jones is a boomer,
But
100%.
we're literally the same age.
Yeah, it's a state of mind. I mean, you can't convince me otherwise. Like, I could call if even Jovan is like younger than Jones, I could still call him theoretically a boomer, but he doesn't meet the qualifications. Like, he's just not fitting
He's
the
a little too
character.
tech savvy for a boomer status.
Way too, exactly.
Yeah,
He can't.
yeah.
He could get the.
But he is an old soul. He's got old soul status.
Oh my God! Parker said he'll do a 1v3, like for communism. I'm assuming.
He didn't say that.
Nah.
He didn't say
Nuh-uh.
that.
He told
That
me
is not.
he told me that Cuba is not socialist, and it
I'm gonna
really
text him right now. I'm gonna text him right
burned
now.
me.
Text him right now.
I'm about
Get
to.
him up here.
He said Cuba
Yeah.
wasn't socialist because they only have a one party state, and I'm like, that's Leninism.
Jones, aren't we technically like Zennials? Isn't that the name of us? We're like that weird in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
We're
too many
80
generations.
Yeah, I'm a Zennial because I was born 81.
It also doesn't make sense. The generation should be from like 1980 to 1990 should be one generation. It shouldn't be like 93 to.
Yeah, but it's because
I
of what
hate
we
that.
experienced differently, and because when technology got introduced, that's the reason I think it's so broken.
Nope, hate it.
It's a choice. It's a lifestyle. This is actually a lifestyle. Like, similar to me, I could never be homophobic or racist, but
It's all
I'm
social construct, guys. It's okay.
all a
It's all
social construct, and that is a choice. That is a lifestyle that he chose, and I'm gonna blame him for it.
Really quickly, just to say to Coach Pedro, I don't want to debate Parker as much as I want to debate Dean. Dean has been ducking a capitalist debate with me for a year. A year, bro.
I have some Pippi Longstocking shit going on.
I love that. Looks cute.
Who in the chat knows what that is?
You know,
I
I
love
once
it. I have.
myself, I beat my dad in a capitalist debate, and I also beat Kiara in a capitalist debate.
Yeah, but I beat you in like 3 other debates, so let's not bring that up again, huh?
You did not beat me in 3 other debates.
There's
Yes,
too
I
much
did.
beating going around.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, do you want to bring it up again? Do
There's
you
no
want to
need to
get
bring it
canceled
up, but I
publicly?
just want to
Cancel
make it known
publicly.
that you did
Okay,
not
somebody
beat
had
me.
asked me a question. I promised I was going to answer it earlier. Is there a point where we can collectively decide SCOTUS is illegitimate and just ignore their rulings?
I wish
don't
that was a
know.
possibility.
Huh?
Without impeaching them, no.
No, we
Okay.
can.
And we can't even get them to impeach this man behind you, so we know that the likelihood of them impeaching any of our SCOTUSes.
And
I
they
mean,
can
did
only
you
be
see
impeached by
how much
Congress.
money
That-
Clarence Thomas got for the Chevron decision? Like
I
he
know.
physically got paid to
Oh, but
to
it's okay. It's
agree.
not a bribe as long as it comes after the ruling. Okay.
Oh,
If
okay.
it's after the ruling, it's okay.
Okay, yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
crazy.
That
Somebody,
was a ruling this week. Did you not hear about that
Yeah,
one?
no, I know.
Oh, okay.
somebody can catch
Or
me up,
last week.
please, because I'm not sure. Like the Supreme Court is still
So in the
for
last
my.
2 weeks, they have ruled that briberies are not briberies if they're considered gratuitous tips after the decisions are made in the judicial branch. They decided that they rolled back the Chevron, sanction, where basically says that if any type of law is
It's agency laws, yeah.
right, if any type of agency law has some nuance that's not really clear cut, normally it would go back to the agencies, which they are experts in their field, and they would basically kind of interpret the law. Now that's not a case anymore. Now the law will just roll back to the Congress, which will probably never be reheard. So that means that the whole thing just goes away. They made it legal for you to ban and arrest those that are sleeping in public areas. So basically opening the door for Trump's Agenda 47 to ban the House unhoused. And then of course today they ruled that a president gets immunity in official capacity, and official capacity extends to simply having the conversations with people, members of his staff, cabinet, vice president, etc.
Yeah, I heard all of that. I just am like the only thing I'm unclear with the Supreme Court, because as I said, the German mind, I didn't really get too much involved with the Supreme Court yet when it comes to that. How do they determine how you call it, like how long they can run for? Like, is there no limit at all? Like they just go there until they resign or they die? Is that really it?
Yes,
Yeah.
they stay until they either step down or die.
So, according to the Constitution, the people, have the right to essentially, I don't even know what the proper terminology would be.
He's buffering.
Dismantle the government, like literally, like
Well,
the people have the
overthrow
power
the-
to dismantle the government. However, we've turned all of our institutional power over to representatives, and these representatives don't actually represent us.
You mean a coup d'etat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
here's
yeah,
the problem too. The original,
Essentially.
so the original way the government functioned, is we the people had the ability to elect our House of Representatives, not our Senate. The Senate was selected by the House of Representatives. And the Electoral College with the majority vote, which of course in each state, but each state's majority vote consisted of white males, because obviously in this time frame when this is all established, white women and minorities did not have a right to vote. So they decided the presidential election through their electoral college numbers based on the number of population, which at one point is written in population counts as if you own people, and they are counted as 3/4 people to add to your totals for your electoral college vote. So everything was kind of functionally set up to serve, by and large, the minority. You know what I mean? The minority voice. And we literally, people in the 1960s standing on a stage. What is his name? I can't think of his name. He's in that movie I've been telling her about to watch, Bad Faith. But where he stands on stage, he says, "We do not win with a majority vote. I say we win when less people come out in the voting populace." Like he literally admits that the only way Republicans are going to win is if people don't vote. So there was an amendment made that changed the fact that we not only elect our House of Representatives, but we also get to elect our Senates in the same method, and that was a change constitutionally. And we have GOP members that now want to also roll that back. They don't think that the Senate should be elected. They think it should be back to the way it used to be, where the House of Representatives gets to appoint them.
Oh, so I was wrong because it's in the Declaration of Independence, which is not a legal document.
Yes.
It says it's the right of the people to alter or to abolish the government, but that's in the Declaration of Independence.
I mean, it still is within our right to do that. It would just be.
Document, so actually, it's not.
Wait, hold on. I don't mean legal rights. I mean it is our right as humans to allow ourselves to be governed in the way we want to be governed.
Governed in a humane manner. Yeah, I agree with that part.
But the problem is our government has nukes. that's the issue.
Drones.
They got drones. They have drones.
It's really hard to outrun a drone.
No, really though. Hey guys, we only have $98 left in our goal today. There's like 368 people. So if like, I don't know, less than a third of you sent $1 to either the Cash App or any of the pay links, we'd meet our goal for the day.
Jones, I think I'm going to put together a Amazon wish list of podcast equipment so that we have it separate of both of our streaming equipment, so that we can get because we were talking about this before I even moved in, and we just have made no headway in starting a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm feeling very sad. Anyways,
I literally am trying to work with my representative, my agent rep PR person, on getting a studio set up here in the Orlando area, because that's what I would like to do. And not only could we do our own podcast, but we could also help other content creators produce their podcast and or content.
What do you say when you say podcast, though? Are you going to be making a podcast and owning the studio, or are you going to be renting out the studio for the sake of other podcasts through like a third middleman kind of thing?
What do you mean a third middleman?
No, I don't want any middlemen. No.
But you would be a middleman, right? If you're organizing, hey, you can have a podcast, you and you, for example, and then you go
producing somebody help to produce other people's
producing.
Yeah.
Oh no, so I don't view a middleman as like a producer, because every live show should have a producer on hand.
You should have a great
I just mean like a network
for it to be good.
I can agree with that, but like
I wouldn't want to be a part of like a podcast network or something like that.
Yeah. But isn't that what you would be trying to set up as like essentially a podcast network?
No, just a space. They would own 100% of what they produce. It would just be a space for them to do it.
Okay. But the thing is, like, right, I'm for you and Mr. Jones living together and all that. I've talked to, I think you, Jovan, participated in the game show. Super fun. Different name. But I mean to say is, like, if you are bringing someone on to participate in a podcast through the studio that you have connections with, isn't that you kind of being like the producer, but also technically a
No,
middleman?
Jones is talking about owning a studio.
Can I ask what
you would own a
going
studio
on right now?
I just happen to join. I just listen a lot, so I have no commentary as far as negativity, just positivity.
Like, I'm all
trying
for
to get
you and
understanding.
Jovan living together. Like, did somebody ask? I'm confused.
No, I'm sorry. I was just trying to give a info onto the background of what I know.
Wait, what?
I just know that you guys live together. There's nothing.
Your people's bro.
I don't know who.
No, I'm no one's people's. I'm no one's people's.
Wait, why are you? I'm confused.
I don't think they were being malicious, though. I don't think they were.
No, I don't think so
No,
either. But I'm
not.
like confused at like what the.
I was just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand what the deviation is between middleman and producer, because I'm not in this world. I don't do producing or anything social. So personally, I don't get the point between. I mean, I get it in the sense like you let them know, hey, there's a studio here that I'm affiliated with, and now we can produce a podcast with these equipments for a good reason.
Equipment set up, and we have our own studio, and we're not going to be using it for ourselves 24/7. Then we should make use of it, or somebody should make use of it.
Okay, so you would be making the studio and therefore not being so much as a middleman as a producer.
I think, I mean, it sounds like what Jones is talking about is having a studio space that we can rent out to people on the cheap that want to produce socially conscious podcasts and other material.
Can I run the bigot podcast out, Jones, please?
No.
Please,
I'm just
come on.
curious because
It's only bigoted against like old people like Ken Rado.
but you would interview the people you're going to be having renting the studio for under you, as people that you vetted, I'm guessing, and then.
Can I ask how we ventured into like a business?
I'm sorry.
Venture topic.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm
lost
just
right now.
my bad. I may have taken it over with trying to understand the business logic of it all. I approve for you guys. You're doing good. I love it. That's all I have to say.
Are we in a relationship that I don't know about, Joe Biden?
Ooh.
I mean, yes.
Well, that was the
that's another
implication I was getting
conversation.
from that comment.
That's what I'm
yeah.
thinking right now.
We are.
Two
That's
of
just
you
another
living
conversation
together.
for a different
And I'm
time.
like, wait, what do you think? How do you think their relationship is? What?
I
I'm so confused.
genuinely don't think she came from a bad place. Like
I don't
think she
either.
just
I don't either. But it was.
I don't
I
feel.
was
I didn't
confused.
feel comfortable about any of this. To be honest with you,
That's okay, and that's also like I understand where you're coming from because it sounded a little bit like it sounded a little bit like I'm okay that
Why
you two
are
living
people
together.
saying me and Jones aren't in a relationship? That's really hurtful.
Well, what kind of relationship?
We're heterosexual life partners. I say this all the time.
Well, I mean, it only matters to me if you're married under the eyes of God. So
I know you're both. I know you're lying, Jovan.
About
I mean, we'll be common law at some point, won't we?
I don't know if that exists. Oh, Florida is a common law state.
Jones is not feminine enough for you.
I don't. Have you seen his cuticles?
Oh, okay. All right. He does have good hair.
His cuticles.
Not the good hair. Jazz.
I have to share them with no rads, obviously.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And who else? Is this a polygamy thing?
No, I don't think so.
I'm not. I am not.
Jones would be really bad at polygamy.
I'm not inserting myself in that kind of stuff. I mean, all I know is that I have 2 gay uncles for my child, apparently, with you and Jovan. So that's all I really.
We're the gunkles.
It's great.
The
It's
gunkles.
great. It's great. Hey, actually, that's exactly what I needed because I didn't have that yet in my life. So maybe that's all we needed. She's gonna learn early on.
No, thank you, friend. No, thank you. I'm good. I'll pass. Maybe some other time. Maybe some other time. You fucked with my tism too much for this morning already. So